Hello, welcome to my show. My name's Patrick, and boy, we got a nice day today. I think we hit 40 degrees. It was about 10 degrees last night. I was a little bit cold. A couple topics I wanted to hit, and I'll bring them up later. Someone wrote about It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart, and I might do something with that, something similar to High Noon, and approach it energetically from a different point. But I remember in the 80s on TV in December, that movie was playing everywhere. You could watch it 20 times if you wanted in December, and it's probably the #1 Christmas show as a result. This was done because in the early 70s, the copyright expired and no one bothered to renew it for another 28 years. And what happened was it's free for the TV stations. So they got all that ad revenue from it, and people enjoyed it, and they didn't have to pay the owners. There were some more legal issues in early 1990s, and it's not a copyright, but the owners, Paramount, threatened to sue everybody if they showed it. So it's only on NBC right now, something like that. Maybe Netflix, I think, might have it. And so it's not shown that often. It's shown like 2 times. So you won't see it. And it's not because it's not popular. What I douse is, it is fading from everyone's memory. So the Christmases before 1990, everybody just assumed it was part of Christmas. It was Christmas. It's 2,000 years old. So what I want to say is, it was not about money. Here, do you see this? Here, this is really simple, very simple. Was this about money, what Paramount did? No. Did they wanted to get it off TV and make it less accessible? Yes. As a percent of 100, 100's over here, how much of the decision was to remove it from circulation and visibility at Christmas time? Yes, it's 95%. Do you see that? 95. How much of the decision was money? How much of the decision was to make money? You assume it was money. This is a business. No, 10%, less than 10%. The decision was to remove it. Is it because it's about Christ and the word Christ? Yes, 100%. See, it's the war on Christmas. Again, wherever you go, remove the word Christ. That's a very successful Christmas. Remove it. And it's the epitome of a Christmas show. It's the struggle of an individual within himself. And when he returns to himself and believing in the good of man, he finds the value of life again. He always had it. He was always natural, but you come along and you have self-doubt, and self-doubt is part of the game. Every human gets to go through self-doubt in their challenge, in their faith in man, and they're facing Christ and Buddha. It's just part of life, and you kind of get through it, and it allows you to re-examine yourself and what you're doing, and then you remake the connection. So that's what it's all about. That's why you don't say it. Watch this. Compared to 1989, let's say, how many, the American people, in their consciousness about that movie, how many more people know it as a percent of the population, or less as a percent, know about it, know about this movie? Can you see this? They almost wiped it out. I would say it's like almost 90. It's 85%. We'll call it 90. Minus. So as a percent of the population, almost 85 to 90% of the population really don't know It's a Wonderful Life. They don't know what it's about, It's because a whole new generation has come. So since 1991, 2001, 2011, it's basically 25 years ago, plus 27 years ago. So in 27 years, they have erased that memory from the consciousness of the American people, of the soul of America. And they just do it because they didn't want to show that film. And that film was a extremely, extremely high. There might not be another movie higher in frequency. It's like a 9. What's this? Okay, 1 through 100, 10-star movie. Give me a movie. Okay, give me Star Wars. The first Star Wars, please. Not the last one. The first Star Wars. With that one. Yes, you got it. Okay, see it? It's a 5-star. Lucas's first nice solid score for a movie. Very high. Nice solid. Give me the last movie, Han Solo. Han Solo with Disney made. Okay, so it's just about a half a star. All right? Half a star. Almost a 0. Totally Lucifer. Lucifer. Show me It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life. Show me 1946 with Jimmy Stewart. I've never seen a movie this high. You got it? They had to get rid of it. They had to bring the whole country down into the sewer pit with everyone else. It hurts. But that's where we are. We're in this sea of darkness. And light is fighting back. And this is everybody's opportunity to step forward and be counted. Because, you know, we might be on our deathbed someday and you go, I wish I had that opportunity to have my voice heard. So that's where we are. And we've come to this point after Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama. We are here. They destroyed the country. The morale of the country is defeated. And until we turn back and on relativism and the nihilism, we're not going to make it. We're at that point. Anyway, I want to move on a little bit. We'll talk more about that. I just wanted to say they did a little trickaroo with the legal system to get that off the air. That's what happened. And it's really a shame. But maybe it'll come back. The copyright is technically gone, but they reasserted something else, you know, and people just don't want to fight them. They just don't want to fight Paramount. And they probably can. Anyway, as we move forward, I'm looking at, gosh, there's so much to talk about. They're going to impeach Trump, right? Everybody said they're going to do it day one. I actually feel in my core of my being, it would be a big mistake. It would be a big mistake. The country would explode. It would explode. You know, okay, question. Yes, no. Yes, no. Did the Democrats steal the majority for the House of Representatives? Yes. Go back to neutral. Are they going to overthrow Donald Trump through impeachment? No. What is the probability they start impeachment? Now, this is not impeachment. This is start impeachment. What is the probability they're going to start impeachment proceedings against Trump? I get 10%. So they probably won't do it because they feel what would happen to the country, negative over here, positive over here, neutral in front of me. What's going to happen to the country day one when they start impeaching Trump? Negative energy, boom. It's going to explode beyond your wildest imagination. Boom. And they won't like it. They won't like it. And I did some tarot cards a couple weeks ago, and I had December was kind of rough for Trump, but January and February will be okay, you know. Could you rate Trump? Let's go to 1, please. Let's use, no. Yeah. Let's go neutral. And it's like talking to myself. You see that? And this is all thought. This is all thought. It's coming through my heart chakra. There we go. And it's all 1. I'm thinking in 1. And I'm asking protection. And I put a shield around me during my walk with Max earlier, so I have a protection against those who want to influence the outcome of this, and they can't do it. Okay, give me. Is Trump going to have a bad month over here or a good month come January? In January, by the end of January, how would January be for Trump overall? Now, this is with the new Congress sitting. It's a +5, all right? Over here would be a -5. So he's not even a negative story. It is somewhat positive, all right? So that's good. It's going to be a good, solid number. It's not going to be great. Okay, go back to neutral, please. Thank you. Thank you. Could you show me February? How is February going to be for Trump and the Trump agenda? It moves up to about it's a little better, about a 6 or a 7. 6 or a 7. Positive. So don't forget over here, it's all negative to -10. All right. So everything's going to work out. Don't worry about it. I'm going to go rapid fire here. So I know there's many more things I can measure, but we could talk about the stock market and the economy. I might do a separate tape on it altogether. But a lot of what's going on, this is an attack by the Fed and Goldman Sachs. All right? That's what it is. On the economy through the stock market. You know, the Goldman Sachs completely controls it. There's no price discovery. This is all fraud, and they're good guys in the White House and elsewhere in the government that is fighting this, but that's sort of what's happening. And did you see Q today said, come January, February, March, the Fed is going to attack the economy with steep interest rates to drive the economy into, now he didn't use these words, he said to drive the economy down, but essentially to a recession, if necessary, a depression. Could you rate that statement? Could you rate that statement from Q? How much is it true? It's 100% true. So the Fed wants to do this. And Q claims they can, that was important, it tapped my arm. Q claims they're going to do structural changes to something to thwart that. The only thing you can thwart with a structural change is to nationalize the Federal Reserve and put it back under the Treasury Department. And the last person who did that got killed, and that was John F. Kennedy. He tried to do it. He printed up Treasury notes, and they killed him instantly. Of all the things, there's about 10 issues they killed Kennedy. That was probably number 1. What else? There was a lot of reasons. His brother tripled the number of mafia figures indicted and thrown in jail. And they thought Kennedy was on their side in a way. And so it tripled. No, Robert F. Kennedy went after it. And he knew it after his brother's death that he was probably partly responsible for throwing all those mafia people in jail. And it goes on and on and on. You know, Vietnam, you know, the next day practically they started turning the keys to Vietnam to ratchet it up the war. These wars are really, I can't explain it. Give me the Vietnam War justification. Give me a rating. All right? Well, it's like half a star. There is no rating. You know, General MacArthur said, anyone who goes with the land force onto Asia is nuts. The population size is just too big. Anyway, I could go through all the other wars, all the generals and things, and you'll really be amazed. You'll be really surprised that most of them are very evil. Evil, evil, evil. And I wanted to talk about the Crusades. We'll do that later. What was my other one? I had a vision today. It's kind of humorous a little bit. But ultimately, it's serious. It's just like I laid down at lunchtime and I took a little, closed my eyes for about 10 minutes. And I had a little vision of the eggs. The chickens, the eggs were ready. Because yesterday, I didn't get any eggs. First time in years, I didn't get any eggs. And it's colder now, so the production goes down. But certain chickens still produce. And I have I get usually like 7. And if I'm tardy to go down to the chicken area, they'll eat and peck each other's eggs. The hens are really, they play hardball. And they went in there and they pecked the egg. So I can't use it. Oh, there's the ravens checking out my, they always come by. And we had a bald eagle. Remember that last time? That was really powerful. Okay, see how the divining wand moves with my thoughts as I'm talking? It's actually measuring stuff. It's actually responding like a multimeter. It's just like going back and forth. I'm talking, and it's rating what I'm talking, even though it doesn't look like it's important. So I had the little vision, and it said there are 3 eggs available. Go down and get them before... and I went down there, and they were there. They were like, they're beautiful eggs. And they used to be all spread out. They're a little scattered because I've been keeping them in from the predators lately, and it's cold. So when I go down, they've been hiding the eggs, and they kind of scattered. In the vision, they were all together in a group, and I went down there an hour after the vision, and they were all, there they were, beautiful eggs. And so I'm making a good day today. Could you show me the vibration of my eggs from Patrick's farm? There it is. Boom. Look at that food. Look at that. Could you show me Safeway eggs vibration? I wouldn't eat it. I mean, so when they say don't eat eggs, yeah, don't eat supermarket eggs. Eat your eggs. They get out there, they eat bugs, and they transmute the bugs into protein that you can eat. Eggs are a wonderful food. Don't be afraid of it. You know, that's something you're gonna have to learn, that modern science is almost a fraud. It's just a fraud. And you have to go through and just make your own decisions and feel your way through it. Now, the egg thing is, I wanted to tell you about the vision, is because it looks like it's minor, but it's really important, because things could get rough and you're going to have to tap into your soul. And I'm pointing at my heart, but that's your heart chakra. That's where you make your decisions in life. And, it's like the Hottentot, the Bushmen of the Kalahari, the Aboriginals in Australia. They get up in the morning. They don't have anything. I mean, they have a stick and some items. I mean, they're out at the whim of nature, and they go, who had a dream last night? Where's the water? Where's the food? And invariably someone knows, I think we should go over this way. And most all the societies, when we go back to the Rush, which is Russia, the Germanic tribes, the Viking, the Scandinavian tribes, the Japanese, they all did this in their region, in their mix of their connection to the land when they're semi-pagan. Now the pagan and the finding your way with nature, the Christ light is one with nature, one with Goddess. I mean, they all work as a complementary energy, and when you got it all together, you're using the Christ light. That's it. And those are skills. That's all I'm saying. Those are skills you can develop, and you're going to need them. They're going to be very important. And I really think you need all of them. You need to know. You need to throw out. I'm looking for animals. I know anybody who's rating my animals. I got to go down there pretty soon. So I wanted to say that. Show me. Okay, who's winning this battle between Trump and this paradigm, this dark paradigm of deep state, the satanic banks of New York City, all of this, all of the above, the Hollywood Marxist culturalists. Who's winning it? Positive over here, negative over here. Tell me, we'll just do it from Trump's point of perspective. Trump's point of perspective, the last 2 years, which way is it going? The victory or defeat? So Trump is going into victory, And it's the last 2 years, he's defeated him 40%. Now, I measured this differently, and I got the same answer. Could you show me the next 6 months? The next 6 months. Trump and his agenda. He totally defeats him in June, by June. And I got that before. I go, okay. Is Trump winning the battle and his forces? Are the Trump forces... This is like a civil war. I mean, there haven't been any bodies, but it could easily go that way. Could you show me, is Trump winning? Just say yes or no. Yes. How much of the battle is over that Trump has won? How much? So he's going to win. We want to know where we are. And I'm just getting, see, that's that 40%. Where it is 6 months from now. Where are we 6 months from now, this battle? I'm getting pretty much 95% done. So we're going, it's speeding up. The next 6 months are going to be really amazing. And I think we have to realize that, from my perspective, I haven't seen anyone offer on the communist side, which is the Democrats, because they are communists, they're Marxists. They really, and you know, Marxism is about class. And modern Marxists use race to split the country and bring about the civil war. And they don't care how many people get killed. In Russia, the Marxists, the same people in the Democratic Party and their backers, killed 60 million people. It's the same people. It's the same ideology. Nothing's different. That's the change. I mean, that's what you can't tell the young people. They just don't know. Go look at what happened to the Ukraine in 1934. 8 million dead. There's a lot of suffering in this world. No one has a monopoly on it. That's all you have to say. And if you have a system that acknowledges inalienable rights, that's the superior system. You know, even the Buddhists, all these that truly follow, it works okay. I mean, they weren't that practical, but I didn't want to go off on that tangent. So that's what I'm saying. We're at that juncture now, whether is a state giving us these rights to live and breathe and to speak, you know, or is it inalienable rights, as the Declaration said? It recognizes it's from the heavens, our rights, and we are part of it. Each human being, your soul, is a part of the heavens. We're all part of it. We all have these rights, and we have more rights than you know. What they're doing to us is really black magic. I told you about the tranny. That's going to keep coming out. How far along it is and what its purpose is. The crime against children in this country, we have to fix it. We have to go back to square one, because what they were doing in the 1950s was far superior than what they're doing now. The children came up better then. Even though they were messed up, they were less messed up from that technique and that culture than this culture. So we really almost have to go back, revisit it, and then go down a different road. And I personally think there's a lot we can do. Just simple things like in Iceland, the young people had the highest alcohol drug use, the teenagers in Europe, out of 30 countries, 30-odd countries. And it was well known in the 80s and early 90s. And then they came in, some individual, I believe is a professor, and he goes, well, here's a program. My research says we should do X, Y, and Z. And it's really simple. I mean, it's really some simple, and it's the things you go, oh, I always knew that. Everyone goes, I always knew that. But what they did was, well, what do you think is the most important thing for young people, teenagers? Now think back when you're a teenager. They didn't let them smoke. They just clamped down on smoking, because smoking did lead to all sorts of things. It was proven. Scientifically, it was proven. So they cut off the smoking. So there's no, you can't buy it anywhere. All of Reykjavik, you know, they all voted, okay, we won't let them smoke. And then they filled up their schedule all day with programs. And in particular, they gave everybody debit cards so they can go out and play, let's say, after school ballerina lessons, after school art, guitar lessons, piano lessons, weightlifting, you know, because you bring in an expert, someone in the field, they're getting one-on-one attention in that program. And they just did these fine things. And then they said quality time is probably not the answer compared to quantity time with the parents. Spending more, it's a subtle thing. And I'm not sure, I have to go back and read it all. But hanging out with your kids is more, you can't just dump them off all day. You know, you have to be with them as a parent. The parent has to spend more time with them. And that's the family unit. When those sort of things, it was incredible. They have today, I mean, back in the 90s, when they instituted, they had miraculous change. Now they have the lowest drug and alcohol rate of all teenagers in Europe. I mean, if you want to do something, you can do it. But the forces, the culture we're seeing on TV, you know, Hollywood, all this junk. It's junk culture. It's junk values. The kids come up all gobbledygook, you know? So, and it's really simple things. It's really simple things. And the pendulum will swing back. That's what is at stake with Trump. If Trump doesn't make it, someone else will step in his place. But he's a personality. He's kind of like the focus of all this. And his agenda is going in the right direction. At the same time, the planet is going through this photon belt. And it's gonna wreak havoc on institutions like Goldman Sachs. And the Dowsing shows, you know, okay, let's go Goldman Sachs 100% of their power today. They're the number one power. Let's call that their 10-star rating, okay? All right, thank you. Okay, show me Goldman Sachs rank in power in the United States in 3 years. 3 years. They're way down. They're way down. They're down to like a 4-star rank. Could you give me 5 years, Goldman Sachs? They probably don't even exist. I don't think Goldman Sachs will exist in 5 years. Their frequency and vibration of their mindset, their evil, what they're doing to the stock market right now, things of that nature, people know. People are awake now compared to 10, 15 years ago when the cultural Marxists ran the country. And right now they got a vice grip and they're squealing like a pig as they lose their power. You know, the late night TV shows, all these talk shows, they're going down every month. Down, 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 down. And you saw how Trump's next 6 months will go. And I'm saying this, it looks like the impeachment will be unlikely. It's possible. I mean, the pathway to impeachment is very narrow. Just to start it, it looks like it could be an issue. And Pelosi might know if you open and they start impeachment, I think the country could blow up. Literally. I think people could just go nuts. And you're going to see Republican type people. And I'm not going to say Republican, populists, people who believe in the country will start speaking up saying, this is wrong. You know, it's the Democrats who, for the last 2 years, have been shouting. They just shout you down in coffee shop, shout you down at office, shout you down at... I think if they start 1 second of an impeachment trial, it's going to explode. And the real feelings, the real vote that took place last November, that I predicted should have been Republican, the people are going to see that it was all fraud. And that needs to come out. I don't know how they're going to do it, but the people need to see the elections are fraudulent even at the local level. And that's a big, big issue. And maybe that's the whole purpose of the November election for the House of Representatives. Maybe to collect data. I have a suspect. Let me just see. Did they show me the probability of this statement? They let it happen to show the people and to collect data. Yeah. It's saying almost 100%. They collected information on how they were committing fraud. And it's all recorded, and I think it's going to come out. Unfortunately, economically, we have to get through this economy that's under attack. And we'll see. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. I enjoyed it. Go watch. It's a wonderful... if you're a teenager, you go look at A Wonderful Life, and it's kind of like, ooh, it's not cool. It's kind of gooey and stuff like that. But I haven't found a movie that high vibration. I'm sure there is, but I'm at like 9.4. Kafka, he's like an 8.5 to 9. I'm not sure, but he's he's a high conscious person. And as I said before, 8, 9, and 10, those are saint level vibrations for humans. I don't put the avatars in this measuring system. I probably should. I have them separate. They're almost, I can't put them on there. But the saints. Now, I asked somebody if my idea was how many saints are on the planet right now, what percent of the population, and I get roughly, this is 8. It starts at 8, that frequency level. 8, 9, and 10 are the saints. That's where they start. Those are total lit beings. And they're all over, like Capra. What is this, Capra? He did It's a Wonderful Life. He wrote it and he directed it. Right after World War II. Do you see it? It's like a response to the carnage of World War II. He and Jimmy Stewart just got out of the army and they agreed to put this movie together pretty quick, right after the war. And and it's a war that was really, really bad in many, many ways. And this was like the opposite of the spectrum. You see how it is? And it became this hit. When it came out, it wasn't a hit. It wasn't a hit until it got on TV, the copyright disappeared, and everybody saw it. And they go, wow, this is a really phenomenal. They don't want that kind of thing nowadays. They don't want that message, that frequency, that content. And I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, what was I going to say? I forget. I was going to measure something. It was really, really funny. I can't remember. Sorry. I have so much on my mind. There's so much going on that... let me see. So try to pay more attention to your dreams, and ask yourself a question before you go to bed. I know some people say they can't dream, but that's almost okay. I mean, you're using other facilities to, like, other prayers. It's pushing you forward. You're going to be making the right decisions anyway. It's kind of fun. I enjoy studying my dreams, and that's why I did it. In my 20s, I dreamed much more, but it was kind of like overwhelming. I'd have all this legal pad and all these pages of dreams written down. I couldn't get any sleep. So I kind of consciously went back and say, well, just give me important dreams and things. And I don't. I sleep through the night now pretty good, and only the important ones. All right. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.